This is your hometown news leader, WDBJ 7.
Let me just say this. If I win Virginia, I'm going to get 4 more years.
The president brings his campaign to Roanoke. I'm Jean Jadhunt, a live report coming up.
Then see what political heavyweights spent some time pushing for Mitt Romney in Central Virginia.
And federal officials tour some of the hardest hit hometowns 2 weeks after the derecho blew through. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for getting your news with us. I'm Holly Davis.
And I'm Chris Hurst. On this Friday, Campaign 2012 is in full swing in Virginia. Tonight, more than 3,000 people turned out to see President Obama speak at a campaign rally in Roanoke.
WDBJ 7 anchor Jean Jadhunt was there. She joins us live now from downtown Roanoke. Hi, Jean.
Hi, Holly. Hi, Chris. Downtown is relatively quiet now, considering all of the people who were here just a little while ago. As you said, 3,000 people came out to the historic Fire Station No. 1 to hear President Obama. This was the 3rd Virginia stop for the president just today. He knows he needs Southwest Virginia if he intends on winning the Commonwealth come November. And today he was clearly speaking out to local voters.
Hello, Roanoke. It's good to be back in Roanoke.
A big hello to Roanoke from the President of the United States. Barack Obama talked about health care, education, and transportation. He specifically mentioned Roanoke several times, including when he talked about keeping jobs in America.
I don't believe in outsourcing. I believe in insourcing. I want to stop giving tax breaks to companies that ship jobs overseas. Let's give tax breaks to companies that are investing right here in Roanoke. Right here in the United States of America.
More than 3,000 people turned out. They waited, packed in for hours. By speech time, many were overcome.
Make sure you're drinking water. Bend your knees. Don't stand up too straight. The paralegals will be, or the paralegals. You don't need lawyers. The paramedics will be coming by.
The president used this opportunity to relate to the people of Southwest Virginia.
Because when I look at you, I see my grandparents. When I see your kids, I see my kids.
Knowing he needs this part of the state to win Virginia in November.
I promise you we will finish what we started. And we will restore that basic bargain that built this country. And we'll remind the world just why it is that America's the greatest nation on earth. God bless you. And God bless the United States of America.
Interestingly, though, the president admitted that he has not accomplished all he had hoped to in his first 4 years as president, but he offered very few specifics about what he intends to do differently in the next 4 years should he be reelected. The president certainly has a way of energizing a crowd, though. He is an eloquent speaker. He had the crowd revved up, and he spoke for about 40 minutes, so quite a lengthy speech for a quick campaign stop tonight. I want to mention 21 people were treated by paramedics in that crowd. One person was taken to the hospital. So the crowd was out there standing for quite a while. Elizabeth Harrington talked to quite a few people after the speech to find out what they thought about it.
Well, Gene, he came, he spoke, he thrilled thousands of people here in Roanoke. It's a visit many people will remember the rest of their lives. As the president spoke, people took pictures, applauded, and kept their eyes on the man of the hour. Every person we spoke with said he motivated the crowd, sealed votes, and one undecided woman told us after hearing Obama, she plans to vote for him this November. The president said in his speech he hoped to take Virginia, and he's off to a great start.
I got to shake his hand and I didn't want to let it go. The speech was very motivating. I'm so excited.
I think he had a great speech. I think he really hit on a lot of topics that's close to the heart of everyone here. So,
as far as the speech, I thought it was dramatic, dynamic, and I thought he really had the crowd involved in it. I thought it was really great.
Gonna turn the state blue. This year the state gonna be blue again.
The president did admit that his first term has not been perfect or ideal, and that comment really did hit home with the crowd. It's something that they could identify with.
Right, and he said times have been tough, and so he did make those points. I also noticed, I don't know if you noticed this tonight, Elizabeth, that the president seemed to mention that he'd be back. He's going to be back, which is not surprising. I have a feeling Mitt Romney and Barack Obama will both be back in our neck of the woods.
He's staying.
key state, certainly is, as this campaign progresses. And so, Chris and Holony, another exciting campaign event here in the Roanoke Valley. Mitt Romney was here in Salem not too long ago. Tonight, Barack Obama. I have a feeling we're going to see both of these candidates around this part of the state a few more times before November.
And that is really amazing to think about, too, Gene, because it wasn't until today that a sitting president had been here. It was 1977 the last time that a sitting president had visited Roanoke, and that was Jimmy Carter. And we should expect to see both Obama and Romney here again.
It's only July, Gene, only July. Thank you very much.
I know, and you know, in years past, this wasn't really a battleground state, and so it now is, and that's why we're seeing the candidates here like we have not in the past.
Very true.
Gene, thank you.
Security, a huge deal this evening for the president's visit. From state police to snipers, they were in place all throughout downtown.
The president's motorcade took off from the Roanoke airport and headed down Interstate 581 toward downtown Roanoke. Law enforcement blocked the freeway on-ramp so the commander-in-chief could get to Church Avenue swiftly.
And about 5 miles, we can spin around and go direct Rampy if that'll work for you, Air Force One. Air Force One, descend and maintain 5,200.
That right there was the radio traffic between Roanoke Regional Airport and Air Force One as it landed.
WDBJ 7 senior reporter Joe DeShiel was there.
The president was about 30 minutes behind schedule when Air Force One touched down at Roanoke Regional Airport Friday evening. But a small group that welcomed Barack Obama to Western Virginia wasn't disappointed. The president walked from the plane with Democratic Senate candidate Tim Kaine and Democratic Senator Mark Warner in tow, and he spent several minutes working the crowd.
It was beautiful. It really was.
Members of the Willis family received Obama's signature on a handmade poster.
He shook my hand and gave me a hug, and it was wonderful.
I know he was on a tight schedule, and he has to go make his speech, and, you know, it was just amazing. Amazing moment.
For 11-year-old Corinne Emerson, it was a day to remember.
It will definitely be with me the rest of my life.
Her brother Braden told the president he was born in Hawaii, too. The president joked with the 8-year-old, asking if he had a birth certificate.
I thought it was really cool.
The crowd was gone by the time the president returned to Roanoke Regional Airport. About 3 hours after Air Force One touched down, the president was on his way home to the White House. In Roanoke, Joe DeShiel, WDBJ 7.
It was a once-in-a-lifetime performance tonight for one local band.
We got something special. What can take away their shoes?
These 16-year-old singers make up the Church Sisters. The band from Danville played before the president spoke at tonight's rally. Their cousin, the mandolin player, has performed for Queen Elizabeth and politicians. Monday, he got a call from the White House and decided to put those twin sisters in the spotlight. After they performed, they got to meet the president. We've put President Obama's speech online for you. Just head to WDBJ7.com. You will find it under viral videos.
For a Republican response now, Salem Delegate Greg Habib hoped the president had time to talk with all types of people here in Virginia.
And I hope while he's here, he gets a chance to see firsthand the consequences of his policies, how the unemployment has skyrocketed, our debt has skyrocketed, our deficit has skyrocketed. We see up and down Southwest and Southside Virginia the impact on coal and energy rates.
And former New York City Mayor Rudy Giuliani was in the state earlier, also drumming up support for Republican candidate Mitt Romney.
Well, I reconcile it very simply. Mitt Romney would be far better for whatever faults he has than Barack Obama. There's no question that neither one of them is perfect. I'm not perfect, you're not. So now you got to compare.
Giuliani met with supporters near Richmond this afternoon, where President Obama is scheduled to stop tomorrow.
It could have been a washout, but for the most part, the rain stayed away during tonight's presidential visit.